Yeah, this is like an average day.
We were just looking, we're looking through the history of your Instagram and your career. You know every damn celebrity there is to know, from The Situation to Michael Vick to Farrah Abraham. How do we get to be friends with all these people? Do we have to be in the mob, or is this just your charm? I mean, you know everyone.
Well, actually, I started out in like 2000 around like Bad Boys. So I'm good friends with Mario Winans and that clique. And then I worked for a girlfriend named Tiffany Hasborn, and she worked for 50 Cent as wardrobe. So I worked with them for like 3 years. So I had a career prior to this career, and I had friends before I had more friends.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
And if they don't want to be my friend, then I threaten them.
You're amazing. Oh my God. Well, okay. Obviously, everybody knows you from Mob Wives, which was an amazing show for years on VH1 that your sister initially pitched, right? She's the one that got you guys this gig.
Well, she created the show, and she's like the reason the show came to life. And I would say, I'm going to say it. I was definitely one of the main factors why it continued to go for as long as it did.
And why?
I mean, I will say Drita definitely, although we don't speak. She was a huge asset to the team, absolutely. And of course, Big Ant, just naturally, everybody loved Angela.
I know. Yeah. We want to ask you all about her life and legacy. But, the show had such a huge impact. It ended up on VH1, but I'm always curious the stories of how it gets picked up, because to actually get a show to go to air is very difficult. Did you guys pitch to other networks? Did you get a lot of no's before you got a yes? Or was it like instant?
Okay, so VH1, we've gone to VH1 first, and they turned it down. Because they just thought we were a little too much for TV. Because when we went in to pitch it, wait, I can't even see you guys because of my glasses. All right, so I got to go in the shade now. Hold on. All right, now I can see. All right, so we went there first, and they turned it down, and then we went to several other networks, and it was pretty much all right. We'll think about it, whatever. Then Harvey Weinstein got involved. And we walked through the door, and he said VH1, and they said, yeah, we'll have it.
No, okay. Harvey, what was your experience with Harvey then? Did you have any idea?
I didn't have much contact with him, but he was always respectful to me. I understand everything that he's done to other women. So, I am pro-female, obviously. Although, wait a second, I'm really more like pro-male. To be honest, I'm more about the boys than I am about the girls. Because the girls are just too much. I'm sorry, there are too many women that are cutthroat, jealous, insecure, and gossip a little too much. So I don't really like to deal with it. I prefer to deal with a man. There's no bullshit. However, when it comes to Harvey, me too, as far as I'm concerned. He was never disrespectful. But he was to other women, so I have to stand with the other women.
Yeah, we hear you. I mean, it's like people have that same issue with like Roger Ailes. Some people had a good experience with him, but obviously we know, his history. Wow. So Harvey's the one that got the show on. Now, when you first got that, I mean, obviously, everybody knows your mob history. Did you have anybody in the mob say to you, this is a terrible idea. We don't want the attention. Why are you guys doing this?
Nobody approached us at all. I will say Jennifer and I, as well as my older sister, we will do what the fuck we want when we want. That's us.
That's why I love you guys.
However, my father stopped talking to me for 2 years because of the show.
Mm-hmm. And why? Did he just feel like you were going to reveal things about mob life?
No, first of all, I never revealed anything. What I showed was my life for me. You're not allowed to do it. It was just wrong to do it. You know what I mean? So I respect, now that my father has passed, I think back and I'm like, oh shit, those 2 years I could have had him in my life. But, after those 2 years I had really bad plastic surgery, and I was read my last rites twice. Oh, I love that picture of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you want to talk Tiger King. There you go.
We're showing a picture of your father with a massive, this is a real tiger, right?
Yes.
Holy shit. Did you grow up with exotic animal pets?
Oh, no, he was a hunter. It was called game farming way back then. So they basically would pay to shoot the animal that they wanted. That was a gift, however. Somebody gifted my father that.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, gifts were a little different in the mob.
Yeah.
They came with fucking tigers and big bags of money. So that's something that I missed more than anything. I'll tell you that.
AJ and I were wondering over the years, did your father ever threaten any of your boyfriends?
Every one of my fucking boyfriends. Are you kidding me? That's why I had to marry that. That's why I had to marry that fucking loser, because he was the only one that wasn't afraid. Turns out that he was the biggest fucking joke loser in my life.
Oh my God, that is.
I have a lot of, and I always say, I don't say the word hate. It's not nice. I hate that motherfucker. Period.
I mean, Renee, could you believe that he would rat your father out like that? I mean, I just can't believe that he never came to you and said, look, I'm under pressure to do this. I've got to talk to your dad. I'm getting worried that I'll do 25 years. I mean, to do that was such a deceitful thing.
If he would have ever told me what he was doing, I would have killed him before. I would have. That's not even a question. It's not even a question. When it comes to my family, that's my flesh and blood. My family gave him a family, and he did what he did. So he didn't just do it to my father. More than anybody, he did it to his son. That's the way that I look at it. It's not about the men. Listen, when you sign up, that's what the fuck you get. You either get killed, ratted on, spend your life in jail, or die broke. That's exactly what it is. But to hurt me after taking you back, and your child, I wish him 100 angry Renees every day of his life.
Yes. Yeah. And in the mob, like the biggest staples are loyalty, family. So how did you deal with that after all that happened when people, especially being on the show?
Wait, we're going
inside.
Okay.
Because I'm hot.
Is the grandson going to open the door?
No, my mother actually is.
Okay.
Wait, let me.
We get to meet mother.
Yeah, there she is. Say hi, Ron.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, say hi.
Hi, cutie. Hi, gorgeous.
Oh my. So cute.
You're making cake, and here's my daughter-in-law.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
You guys are awesome.
All right, so I got my water. We'll go back outside.
Okay.
Yes, loyalty is the first thing before anything. But you know what's so funny? People are only loyal to you when you have something they want. And then when you're done, they're done.
It's true. And isn't that true in business and relationships? It does really suck that you really almost just have to look out for yourself in life, because that's it.
It really sucks that you don't know who's your friends.
Yeah.
And for me growing up, like, guys would want to be my friend because they wanted to be close to my father. And then girls were my friends because I had money and we did whatever we wanted. Like at 16 years old, I was doing things that people are doing so much later in life, and granted, my money wasn't as clean as some people's money, but it was still, I had the opportunity to travel and with my family, of course, and just, I see the world completely different. Like sometimes I actually stop and think before I say something. Unlike me in the past, I would just say what I want to say. But sometimes now I look at it and I say, I can't talk in front of this person. That person's going to repeat it. Now that does take away from me a little bit, but it also shows that I've grown up. You know what I mean? And I learned that you can't trust everybody. And it's a very sad situation.
Yeah, definitely. Would you ever change your background, like where you came from? Do you think that all of that is affected?
Never. Nope.
Love where I came from. Okay.
Nope. I love who my father was. I love who my family is, because we're thicker than thieves. We're you know what? I'll say what I want about them, but if you say something, you got a problem. You know what I mean?
Sure. They're your family. Now, we were asking, we were looking, and mob movies continue to be huge. The Irishman just winning all these awards this past year. First of all, do you watch any of these films? I mean, you live it.
I didn't see the Irishman. However, Goodfellas is my all-time favorite movie.
Which mob movie is the most accurate to what the world is really like? Is it Goodfellas? Is it Sopranos? What film?
Me personally, Goodfellas, because those characters that were in that movie, I knew them. Growing up, I knew them. So I would say that one really shed a light on the life that I lived. Like, for me, that's the most accurate. And then Donnie Brasco, Casino, of course, The Godfather, but that was like when it was just starting. So I watch it now, and now I appreciate it more than I did when I was younger. So for me, it's Goodfellas. And yes, I watch all that mob shit because I like to be like, oh my God, there's Uncle Mike. Oh my God, and then I look at MasterCards that I carry in my wallet. And what's crazy is Donnie Brasco. So that's Ramona's grandfather was the Al Pacino character, Lefty Ruggiero. And I carry his mask card, like it's in my wallet along with my dad's, my grandmother's. And it's just so crazy that these people were family, and you see these stories or read these books and you're like, holy shit, I don't know them to be the vicious men that they were. I only know them to be the loving, kind men. And that's when people get it twisted. They'll say stuff like, and I'm like, I know my father as a dad. I don't know him as a man. And if he's that ferocious, you should fucking fall in line. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
Oh my God. 100%. Yeah. That's so interesting because we always wanted to ask you like how accurate those really are.
The movies.
Dead on.
Talk to us about Big Ange. Obviously, one of probably the greatest reality show characters of all time. The Voice. And how big was she in real life? Was she like 6 foot?
Not at all. Angela was probably maybe, I would say, 5'9".
Okay.
See, what's crazy is I look so much bigger on TV. I'm actually only 5'4". So what? I'm very short. Yeah, I'm only 5'4". I'm small.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know Angela since I'm about 15. She's my father's sister, my Aunt Celia, best friend.
Okay.
So Angela was my family. We were family. You know what I mean? I grew up with her. I grew up going to the places that she worked. She was very, very close to my sister, Lana. Her daughter, Raquel, and I became very close now. And she was just like no other human being. I don't know if you know who Kevin Aquan was. He was like this very famous makeup artist. Like there's only one Kevin. There's only one Angela. There's only, those people that there's only one of, and they're very special people. And unfortunately, I've noticed that the very special people die young. And Angela was just a magnificent person with a soul of an angel. And she would do anything in the world. Oh, I love that picture. She would do anything in the world for anybody. We're both cancers, Angela and I. So it's like that cancer, like we give. When the mothering person, very, very beautiful human being.
And you said you grew up with Ange. What other were there other girls on the show that you weren't necessarily like you didn't grow up with, but you kind of became friends with on the show? Drita.
Okay, so I grew up with Carla.
Okay.
Drita and Karen were my sister's friends.
Got it.
Alicia, I know through her ex-husband. Natalie and I became friends from TV. Who else am I missing? Marissa, no, not a friend. She's a sweetheart, but I don't, she was later on the show. The girl Brittany, I didn't know. Oh, Love, I know from many years ago. Ramona is my sister's friend. So pretty much everybody, you have a history with everybody. I did. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I wish everybody well. I hope everybody's doing good. I've distanced myself from several of the women.
Now, why is that? We know you don't speak to Drita anymore. You know, all her charges were dropped in February, and it seems like she's just rescuing.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. That's all good news. On her Instagram, it seems like she's just rescuing a bunch of cats. Now, what?
Good for her.
What? Why?
I never liked cats. Never liked cats. See, that says a lot about a person. Not a cat person.
Not a cat person. Me too.
What was the final straw that you decided I don't want to be in this woman's life anymore, or vice versa?
It wasn't even like that. I will say this. So being in recovery, you have to make amends for the things that you've done wrong. So I actually when she had gotten arrested, I sent her a text. Obviously no reply. Then I wrote a little note to her because I was trying to make amends for the things that I've done wrong. So the objective with that is clean your side of the street. So I apologize for anything that I did do. However, she did not respond, and that's perfectly fine. It's not about a friendship. It's about making sure that I apologize for the things that I've done wrong. Right. So I can own that I wasn't always 100% correct. However, her and Carla teamed up, me and Karen teamed up from season 1, and that's the way it went. So Drita wouldn't apologize for anything that she's done because she just wouldn't think that she did anything wrong. You know, that's where we have a different mentality. I know what I do wrong. I own my shit and I apologize. And she goes on with her life, and that's fine. That's the way Drita is, and that's perfectly fine. I don't speak with Karen and Ramona for reasons I'm not going to talk about. And Carla and I keep in touch. I apologize to Alicia and Natalie, and I will send messages every now and then to Alicia. I've been in her clothing store, which is absolutely adorable. I've been to her restaurant. You know, I brought my son and my grandson around her. Natalie and I have seen each other in Florida. As far as Marissa, I have no problem with her. I don't see her. Brittany, don't talk to her. Love, if I see her, it's hello. It's life. And like I said, I know what I've done wrong, and I'm okay with the apologies. I don't need to have. They're not my friends. Period. Even if we were good, they'd never be my friends. Right. I'm talking about friend. Call at 4 a.m, like, pack your fucking bags. We gotta go. Or we're all black tonight. We're breaking the windows. Like those are not the girls that I'm calling. You know what I mean?
Okay, good to know.
Is Mob Wives ever coming back? Do you think that show could ever be rebooted?
We are actually out. There's word that it's a possibility. This virus, this fucking bullshit virus that I fucking, please. They want Trump out of office. Let's just be honest about it. They should just say, we don't want him in the office. We're going to give you the plague. Fucking, the country. Just fucking deal with it. I'm a Republican, period. I don't care. Like, do I think he's the jerk off with his mouth? Absolutely. Do I think that the economy is where it needed to be? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
But I bet you knew Trump before he was president. Did you know
Trump? So Trump wouldn't let us film in his hotel. And,
no way.
He wouldn't let us film in his hotel, so he could kiss my fucking Dr. Maid ass.
Really? You must have been the only people in reality. He loved reality. And you know, Howard Stern talks about all the times he came on, all the shit he would disclose. Did you guys all call Donald and say, hey, we want to film at Trump Towers? And he said, no, I don't want that.
Okay, I don't know him or I'm going to call the man. I just know that he didn't want to be attached to the mob by any means. And again, am I mad at him? I can really give two fucks. We filmed in other hotels. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
So possible return though for Mob Wives.
I think that the virus might have fucked up the whole deal.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
To be quite honest. Yeah, because there was a very strong possibility. I would say about 6 months ago, but I'm not too sure anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, Renee, I love that you are just who you are. And obviously you give zero fucks what anyone thinks. But in this era of cancel culture, I mean, you'll put up pictures that you're friends with Michael Vick, who's a very controversial person. Obviously the situation, you know. So do people give you shit on your Instagram or they don't dare to? Because...
Okay, so I did an appearance with Michael Vick, and that's how I met him. I love his wife to pieces. She's amazing. So people have said things to me, and I just tell them, then don't go buy a fucking cat. Like, he did what he did. He fucking paid the price for it. He went to jail. Period.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people in this world that have relatives that have done shit and they still talk to them. You know what I mean? So go fuck yourself. He did what he did. I don't own that. That's his shit to own. And he owned it and he made up for it. And he makes up for it because he's a good human being trying to do good things for other people. Again, his wife is just a doll. As far as the situation, you know, it's crazy. I didn't like him many years ago because there's like a killer hornet, I think.
The murder hornet.
Wait, time out. Did you hear about the new Loch Ness monster that they found in the water?
Oh, Jesus.
I have to erase this fucking TikTok shit because I am obsessed with the conspiracy theories. Okay, it's so bad, and I take pictures like screenshots, and I send them to my son and my daughter-in-law. I'm like, oh my god, this child molesting ring.
Is this real?
Really have a fucking ankle bracelet on? This is me. Jerk off me. Okay, but back to the situation. So I didn't like him because I thought he was an ass. And I have so much respect for him because being an addict myself, it's the hardest thing, fucking thing in the world. Like, if I could give it to everybody for 24 hours, I would, just so they can understand what it is to be us. For me, sometimes it's like literally hour by hour.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I suffer from like MDD, which is major depressive disorder. And like, listen, there's MDD, GAD, ADD, ADHD. Like, I have every letter in the alphabet.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely, like, that's me.
But, and my brother is in the program. He's been sober for 9 years. And he says,
congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, it's totally changed his life, as I know it has yours. And when it will always make me cry, but he'll say to me, I never believed my life could be as good sober as when I was drinking, you know? But he says that it's the mind of an alcoholic or the mind of an addict. Your mind is just always going, you know, whether it's paranoia or thinking about your addiction or thinking that people have wronged you, you know, so it's truly a tough battle.
It's the hardest thing I do every day of my life. The hardest thing, because there's plenty of times that I've relapsed like a lot. So when you're in a relapse, and you could be in a mental relapse way before you pick up a drug or a drink. Okay. So that's really what a relapse is. It starts in the head. Right. So I have relapsed in my brain probably 1 million times. And then I've relapsed, you know, in recovery about 6 or 7 times, like outright. And it's like something comes over you when you know the consequences. You're very clear on the consequences. The consequences are, if I drive that car, I'm going to get into a car accident. If I do this, my son's never going to speak to me. And you still fucking do it. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. You know what? We have cures for so many things. And I personally believe, in my opinion, that they can cure this, but they're not going to, because it's the biggest money-making thing in the world. But yeah, it's rough. So anybody who makes it just one day longer, I commend them. And, you know, I pray a lot about it. Like, I just want to be like other people. And then I'm like, but no, I don't. Why would I want to be like a normie? I'm not a normie. I'm just not, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Tons of addicts that are so creative and so brilliant, and some of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Like,
wait, you guys, I lost you with the sound.
Can you hear us now?
Holy shit! Where's my old lady glasses? 1 minute.
Yeah, we lost you for a second too. It was like sounding far away, but
We can hear you.
I just have to listen closer.
Okay. No, my question was, what other, we know you went on to Big Brother and you met like Aubrey O'Day, Frankie Grande. Like, what was it meeting other celebrities like that? Because I'm so interested to know about Frankie Grande.
Okay, so so I know Paulie obviously, and he's a great person. He's a Cancer like me and Ange. Actually, so is the situation. It seems like the Cancers get all the hard breaks.
Yeah.
Okay. When we were going into Big Brother, he had sent me a message like, "Oh, take care of my girl for me," and it was really cool because when I met her, we just were like instant friends because of him.
Yep.
Frankie. So I thought Frankie, I was a little stoned when I walked into the Big Brother house. So I thought Frankie was like the guy that what am I trying to say? Like the host. And I was like, no, I'm a contestant. I'm like, oh my God, I can keep you. That's exactly how that went. Frankie is a ball of fire. Like another man in recovery. There you go.
Yep. Yes.
Yep. Adorable, loving, just absolutely kind. You know what? I can't say that I've met many people that have been shitty. I can't.
Wow, that's amazing. As far as
everyone has been really, really nice to me. Like DJ Khaled, love him to pieces.
He seems like a nice guy.
How the hell did you make?
He's just a doll. You know what I mean? Like, and some people have like an underlining. They have like a respect automatically because of my lifestyle. So It's like they know I ain't like I'm not fake by any means. Like, and I always make a joke. The only thing fake about me is my nose, because it is. My ass that was a fat transfer. Okay. I've been blessed. With all the people that I meet.
Love that. I want to do a fat transfer too. What's your so plastic surgery? You're okay with plastic surgery?
I'm pro plastic surgery. If God wouldn't have created doctors, plastic surgeons, if he didn't want us to fix shit.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
We're with you. What do you have?
I'm actually up for a show. For like 2 shows, so I don't want to talk too much about the plastic surgery because it might be coming.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Okay, we know where you're going to be. Botched. Yeah. Here we come. Yes, we're okay, but
you're not botched.
Yeah, you. I'm just trying to think of other plastic surgery shows. You're definitely not going to be on Dr. Pimple Popper. What's that?
No, she's trying to hear.
What's that?
We're trying to guess what show. I know. We just have a couple more questions because we're obsessed with you.
Sure.
Tell us how you feel about Tekashi 6ix9ine, because when you talk about rats and snitches, I'd say he's the biggest one now. You know, he snitched on everybody in that trial. Has he called you, by the way, for help? He ought to.
Be like, he should never fucking call me. What do I think of Tekashi? I think a rat is a rat is a rat.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, Renee.
I don't. He didn't have his big boy pants on, and he was trying to play with big boy, with big men. He was playing with men.
Renee, obviously times change. Do you think he will survive the next 5 years? I
think there's like everybody out for him.
You know what? I hope to God he lives for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? I don't wish death on anybody, regardless if you're a fucking rat. Mm-hmm. I wish you a whole life of fucking complications, because in spite of the fact that, okay, look, people get involved and they do shit wrong. And then they expect everybody to not tell because they did it wrong. Bottom line is, if you get involved in that world, this is what happens. Right. Like same thing with the mob. You either end up dead, in jail, as a snitch, or broke. That's exactly the way it works. Do I think he's gotten the upper hand? Yeah, he does. Because there are people that don't think like me. The majority of the world doesn't think like I do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't even think 5 people think like me, let alone the majority of the world. So I think that right now is his time to shine. That's it. I have no respect for the person. I don't know him, don't want to know him, could care less,
Mm-hmm. Okay, AJ, I know you've got like one or two more questions. But Renee, I want to know, last question from me is, over the years, the Mob Wives was so huge. And we've seen people like J-Lo obsessed with the show. Tell us who the biggest celebrity was that called you up or came up to you at an exclusive party and said, Renee, I fucking love you. I love this show. I want to pay you to do an appearance, or I want you to take a picture with my kid. Who is the biggest celebrity?
That's a crazy question. Anyone that I meet feels that way. It's kind of crazy. When I have the J-Lo up on my Instagram, when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. You know what I mean? Like that she's a New Yorker as well. But everyone that I come in contact with pretty much has the same, feeling. It's like they all want to know a little bit more. They're all excited about it. So, you know who I love? The president of WeTV. He actually is a huge fan. Imagine that.
That's okay, love it.
Love it. And I ended up doing super well on both of the shows on WeTV. So, yeah. Wow, you got me thinking right now. I will, when we do a part 2, I'll have an answer for that one.
Okay.
But right now, I think anyone that says it is just, it's very flattering. Tina Fey. Okay, so I worked for 30 Rock with an old friend.
No way.
Back in the day, and I became very friendly, with everybody. And we ended. She always would say, "You're gonna be famous. You're gonna be a star one day." And one day, I was on The View, and she happened to be in the dressing room across from me. Listen, true story, hand to God. When she went out on the couch, they asked her about, do you know who's here or whatever? And she did like maybe a 2-minute little thing on how she knew me. To me,
that's huge.
That was the biggest thing in my life to me. She was like, it was so funny because we did my friend and I had the craft services. So when she would do Oscars or whatever, I'm like, okay, get ready. Need a water pill. I got that. Need a dry pill. Got that. So it was really, it was really an incredible feeling to hear her, go out there and say, that's a friend of mine.
Damn. That's incredible. You're amazing. You've accomplished so much. I'll go into reality TV any day of the week. You need me there. I'm there. Ready to go.
Let's pray that Mob Wives comes back.
Oh, let's. I don't know what I'll be. I'll be like the shrubbery in the corner. But if you need
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
And Sarah, you go.
No, I was going to ask you, Renee, how did you find Andrea's impressions? Because you're a fan of her impression work. She's amazing.
So funny.
I was just telling my daughter-in-law and my mother about you. You're hysterical.
My God. That means so much. Thank you.
Hysterical. I don't like when you do the, it's Kourtney, correct?
Kourtney Kardashian, yes.
I don't even know how you can do that. I listened to, I'm like, the voice, it's so dead on.
It's crazy. Yes. That's
God bless you. You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
We need Andrea, you've got to work on a Renee Graziano, Mob Wives. You've got to have a mob accent.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure she could do this.
I have a lot of family that lives in Jersey. They grew up in Washington Heights. So I gotta like listen to you guys, listen to a couple more clips, but Drita, Big Ange, I could definitely work on those for sure. But my question was, you can
work on those, but I come first.
Oh, of course, you come first. You come first. You come first. He's adorable. This is what I wanted to ask is, you wrote a book and I wanted to get your whole thought about writing a book. What was it like publishing? It's called Grandma. I'm going to share the screen here.
Grandma and Me on the Run.
Grandma and Me on the Run. Yes.
Okay. So that was a really, that's probably one of my favorite projects because he gets to have that, like my grandma wrote a book about me, about like for me, that's just something for him for the rest. Right. What you like that book? Grandma and Me on the Run? Who's that book about? As he eats his pancakes. Who's that book about? I don't know. It's about you. You know. He's like, read it.
Read it to me. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. I'll read it when we're done. We're working right now.
we're working right now.
Renee, what a life. I mean, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. And
you're welcome.
It's awesome to just see how your career has come full circle. And we're really praying Mob Wives gets picked up again. And we're just so grateful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much for your time as well.
Okay, thank you, Renee. We love you.
Renee,
love you too. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye, Renee.
I love you like la la la.